English only. That's part of what the sign said at a Juniata County bus driver's window. She was fired after that.
This woman she's in tears. She's elderly. And people are celebrating this online. They're like, ha ha ha. She got what she deserved. Viral fake racism controversy divides the internet and reminds us how dumb the culture war can get, plus political tensions flare between Vice President J.D. Vance and Democratic star Jasmine Crockett. We're going to break this down, plus so much more, on today's episode of the Brad vs. Everyone podcast, my daily show where we take on the craziest ideas from across social media and the internet, all from an independent political perspective. Guys, we are still visiting family in Michigan for the holiday. We're going to do a show today. They'll be off for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Wishing you all the happiest of holidays and a Merry Christmas. And guys, without further ado, let's get into it, because first we're going to talk about a crazy story. It's like, what's gone wrong in our society? I keep seeing these incidents that you'd like to think people had enough common sense enough to deal with in years past without things going viral and being politicized and becoming crazy. But unfortunately, you'd be wrong, because we've got this viral story out of the state of Pennsylvania where a school bus driver was actually fired after asking students to speak English only on the bus and not Spanish. So this has now led kind of the Republicans and Trump administration even to rally to her side, and liberal commentators online to mock and deride this woman and saying she got what she deserved. We're going to watch some local news reporting, and then I'll give you my take. Let's get into it.
English only. That's part of what the sign said at a Juniata County bus driver's window. She was fired after that. Tonight, she's sharing her side of the story exclusively with us, CBS 21. So we first told you about this in February. That's when the school district investigated all this. CBS 21's Maxine Rose in Mifflintown now with why the driver says it's not exactly the way you think.
I do care. I care about a lot.
Caring is exactly what Diane Crawford says led her to serve the Juniata County School District and subcontract with Roar Bus.
I don't know what else to do.
We should just pause for this. This woman she's in tears. She's elderly. And people are celebrating this online. They're like, ha ha ha. She got what she deserved. Even if you think, and I certainly don't think this, but that she had to be fired because of this incident that we'll learn more about, maybe we could just have like a little modicum of dignity and decency and grace for people and not celebrate their demise when they're not even a controversial figure, not a politician, not a media pundit. Just a random old lady who worked as a bus driver, now out of a job and apparently forced to rely on welfare programs now. So we'd love to see social justice in action. Let's watch.
I get Medicare and Medicaid now and SNAP. I had to go on antidepressants because of this.
Crawford says her contract with Roar Bus came to a halt February 1st, after she put up this sign which read, "Out of respect to English-only students, there will be no speaking Spanish on this bus."
I didn't mean to be racially insensitive or anything like that.
Crawford claims she never got to explain that the sign was put up to encourage safe and respectful behaviors and was directed at a bilingual student who allegedly had a history of riling up other students.
I didn't know if he was bullying somebody, telling them to do something they shouldn't do. How do you keep control of your bus if you have no control?
The district.
So I just want to pause on this for a moment and say that she was fired for putting up a racially insensitive sign, and all the sign said was, "Speak English" on the bus. When did that become a racist sentiment? I have no problem with people speaking other languages. I live in Miami, for goodness sake. But speak English is not the craziest request in the United States of America. Now, maybe she's not allowed to make it, and maybe they could have told her, sorry, you have to take that sign down. But firing as if she had, like, racially mistreated a student, I just don't see that. And I can completely understand from her perspective why she would have wanted students to speak English. Because as a bus driver, you are not just responsible for driving the school bus from point A to point B safely. You're also responsible for the children in your care. And that includes that whether they're bullying each other or teasing each other or doing unsafe things. And you need to be able to hear and communicate and understand what's happening. And if they're speaking a different language, there could be things going on that you're responsible for that you'd be unaware of. So it's possible that you're actually not allowed to do this, and that students are allowed to speak whatever language they want on the bus. They do have free speech after all. But we need to not pretend that the only reason somebody could ever have made such a request is because they hate brown people or something. That's ridiculous. Yet that's how it's been discussed online. And apparently the school district actually fired her for it. Couldn't have been a write-in, it couldn't have been a warning, couldn't have just asked her to take the sign down. No, like they had to terminate her for this. That seems crazy. Disproportionate. And the details here get crazier. But guys, do remember to take a second to like, subscribe. Let me know what you think so far in the comments. And please consider becoming a channel member on YouTube to support my content so I can keep calling out left-wing insanity and right-wing insanity and build a sustainable business model with your support rather than having to chase clicks. So please do become a channel member now if you can. You will get access to early, ad-free episodes, exclusive, only for channel members. But let's watch the rest of this.
District and Roar Bus writing in a joint statement today that the investigation had finished quickly after Crawford admitted to installing the note, writing, quote, "The relevant facts of the situation were fully known and discussed among District and Roar leadership, and that it was, quote, determined that the conduct did not align with the standards and expectations for student transportation providers."
Do you regret making the sign?
Maybe I should have worded it different. Maybe I should have said bullying has no bullying in any language, but I didn't mean it to be anything but to correct him. I dedicated everything I had to driving bus. And it was for the kids. I loved the kids. The kids love me.
I feel so bad for this poor woman. I mean, she's not going to be able to get another job like this, working with kids or in a school because of all the controversy. School administrators just avoid people who have any sort of controversy or baggage like that. And now she's literally on these welfare programs and on antidepressants. That's one of the things that's so crazy about some of the cancel culture stuff or some of the political correctness stuff where they're like policing people. It's like there's no sense of proportionality. Even if you, and I can understand this perspective, even if you think she was wrong to put up the sign and she's not allowed to do that and she has to take it down, couldn't that be that? Do you really have to like destroy someone's life, turn it upside down? And don't you understand how that's going to breed resentment and division? That's what I just want everyone to get along. Like we have this big, diverse country with people from all kinds of walks of life and languages and faiths and ethnicities and backgrounds. And sometimes people are going to say or do the wrong thing. But if they are not coming from a hateful place, as it's obvious to me that this woman was not coming from a hateful place, then you got to just roll with it and give people some grace and let them evolve and just, okay. So actually, I mean, you can't tell the kids that they have to speak English on the bus. They're legally allowed to speak Spanish if they want, so you have to take down your sign. Boom. Why did this have to be a national controversy where now you have the U.S. federal government weighing in on it? And we'll get to that in a moment. But it's like, I don't like this culture warification of everything, where everything has to become a viral controversy, every incident. In this case, maybe she'll be able to get some benefit out of it. Maybe like a couple of these stories we've covered recently where they crowdfund for somebody who actually deserves support because she might need it. Because, I mean, she's literally reduced to poverty because of this, because of losing her employment. I just don't understand how that makes anyone better. Like, does that make the kids' parents who maybe were upset by this and want their kid to be able to speak Spanish, are they glad this woman's life is ruined and she's on antidepressants? Is that going to make your life better? No. As long as the actual issue is addressed, and yes, your kid can speak Spanish, then just go about your day, like keep it moving. Stop. There's this vindictive nature of trying to destroy other people in the culture war that I just can't relate to and I can't understand, and I just find so toxic. I mean, some of the popular tweets about this are just gross. So you have This one left-wing guy wrote, she put up a racist sign on her school bus saying there was no Spanish speaking allowed. F her. I again, a language is not a race. And obviously it maps on to a divide between white people and Hispanic people and different groups of people. But actually it's not inherently tied to race. And regardless, she was clearly well-intentioned and had a legitimate reason for doing that. It's not like she just didn't want them to speak Spanish because she hates people who speak Spanish. That's not the vibe that I'm getting from this. That's not what the facts of this story support. It's that she was worried that the kids were going to bully or say or do things that she's responsible for, and she wouldn't know. Wouldn't you understand that? Like, wouldn't you feel the same way? Or you're just so holier than thou? And another person said, yeah, because her drive is to drive the effing bus. LOL. Why are you language policing grade schoolers? This is a viral tweet with more than 3 million views, and you're just like ignorant. Like, you just don't know what you're talking about. The bus drivers are responsible for the conduct and safety of the students on the bus. So they have to pay attention to what they're doing and saying. It's part of the job. And if you can't understand what they're saying, that's clearly a problem. So I have a lot of sympathy for this woman, a lot of compassion. At the same time, I don't, in fact, think that the Department of Civil Rights for the Department of Justice, I believe, with Harmeet Dillon needs to really get involved. She wrote here on X, this is deeply concerning. I have directed at Civil Rights to open an investigation into this situation implicating DEI wokeness. I have no idea what that means. DEI wokeness I don't know, man. What are they going to do? I don't really think I think what happened to this woman is wrong, but I'm not sure there was a violation of her civil rights. And I don't really think it's the federal government's job to come in and micromanage what some local county employing their bus drivers. But maybe she's just virtue signaling. Maybe they'll just open an investigation and then everybody will move on and forget about it and they'll quietly close it. That's what happens, frankly, with a lot of this stuff. A lot of it is performative. And the performative nature of the culture war stuff it's not just kind of boring and tiring. I think it actually makes it worse because then you can't acknowledge any nuances or grays to any of these situations, or you're viewed as like a traitor for your side or giving a ground to the woke left or anything like that. I think we just need to remember that in all of these viral incidents, these are people, these are human beings who are probably not all evil and bad or all good and perfect. They're imperfect, complicated, nuanced shades of gray, and nobody is really defined or should be by one small moment that's put and blown up into the national microphone and microscope. And think about it, like all of us have done or said things that if that was all we were known for, because it for some reason went viral, then we would not necessarily want to be defined by that. So I think we should offer that grace to others. Call me crazy, but I do believe that. Anyway, what's your take on this viral story? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, yada, yada, yada.